On March 4, 2010, Funimation announced that they had acquired the rights to Dance in the Vampire Bund, and subtitled episodes would be available for streaming and digital purchase the following day. When the first 4 episodes were released on March 5th, viewers discovered that the series had been heavily edited. The fact that the series wasn't uncut wasn't too surprising, since most of the original Japanese broadcasts were edited for television. But Funimation appeared to take things even further than they did. If you're unfamiliar with the series, Dance in the Vampire Bund's main character is Mina Tepes, the queen of vampires. She's been alive for hundreds of years, but she certainly doesn't look like it, generally having the appearance of a 10-year-old girl. She appears naked on screen several times throughout the series, and when she did, there was a glowing effect applied to Funimation's broadcast that obscured her body. There was also a certain scene involving suntan lotion from the second episode that had been completely removed. Funimation quickly responded and confirmed that they had edited the series in an official statement. Quote, Funimation Entertainment is known for releasing the titles we licensed in their original, uncut form as their creators intended. However, after viewing the unedited as well as the Japanese broadcast edit of the series Dance in the Vampire Bund, we have determined the series contains controversial elements which, when taken out of context, could be objectionable to some audiences. With this in mind and the approval of the licensor, we will edit select scenes from the series in streaming and home entertainment release. These are scenes which are inappropriate for US viewing and are not essential to the storyline. Dance in the Vampire Bund is a complex and dark drama cited by the press and fans as one of the best anime series out of Japan this season. Its strong story is what brought the series to our attention and why we are bringing it to the US. End quote. When asked if home video releases counted as home entertainment, Justin Rojas, Funimation social media manager, confirmed that they did. And this wasn't received very well. Across the internet, from fan forums to Funimation's official blog, comment sections were flooded with people voicing their displeasure, with some people saying that Funimation had crossed the line by censoring content, and that they would be boycotting the company. While most people weren't willing to go that far, a lot of people did say that this would kill any interest that they had in purchasing the series. People also didn't think that it made any sense. Seven Seas had been releasing the manga in North America for years, unedited, and it was selling well. Funimation was also planning on releasing Strike Witches, a series that featured similar content, completely uncut, and they confirmed to Anime News Network that that was still their plan, regardless of what was happening to Dance in the Vampire Bund. So why did Funimation decide to take this approach now? Based on the language of their statement and the timing of its release, people were speculating that it was caused by the results of the Christopher Handley case. In May of 2006, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency intercepted a package from Japan that was addressed to Christopher Handley of Glenwood, Iowa. The package contained manga that featured sexually explicit content involving minors. The U.S. Postal Inspection Service followed up on this by searching his house, where they found similar material. He was indicted in May of 2007 and pled guilty to possessing and mailing obscene material in May of 2009. And just a few weeks before Funimation's statement, on February 10, 2010, Handley was sentenced to 6 months in prison and 5 years of probation. Funimation's next statement seemed to confirm people's suspicions. 5 days after the initial statement, Funimation released another statement that opened the door to a fully uncut home video release. Quote, in the days since we announced the acquisition of the anime Dance in the Vampire Bund, we have been following the varied responses from within the anime community to our decision to edit specific scenes from its streaming and later home entertainment release. First, out of concern for our distribution partners and advertisers, we will continue to make minor edits to the episodes which are available via free streaming and television broadcast due to the readily accessible nature of these platforms. We will be careful to keep such edits to a minimum. However, Funimation is, as always, committed to bringing the best anime content to the United States in its unedited form on home video. Therefore, we are evaluating the release of the series in unedited and uncensored form for home video. Since only 7 episodes have been broadcast in Japan, final determination must be reserved until all episodes can be reviewed to ensure compliance with current US law. We would like to thank everyone in the anime community for the feedback provided to us on this matter. Your opinions count. End quote. While this solidified the US v. Handley hypothesis in the eyes of many, there was still something missing. If it was solely the series' depiction of Mina Tepes that was the issue, other series, like Strike Witches, should have been edited as well. The key difference, and what may have been the root cause of Funimation's concerns, may have been the presence of a male character. While some shows contained similar content, Dance in the Vampire Bund was unique because it had several scenes where a seemingly underage girl was placed in compromising situations with a male character. It may have been the fear of those scenes being taken out of context that drove their initial statement. Here was Anime Nation writer John Opliger's take on the situation. Quote, even though nothing sexual occurs between Akira and Mina in the Vampire Bund anime, if select still images or a particular few seconds of footage are excerpted from the episode, that out-of-context sample could appear to depict inappropriately sexual activity. The overlooked but especially important phrase when taken out of context that appears in Funimation's original explanation of its Vampire Bund edits is the root of the difference between Funimation distributing shows like Strike Witches and Negima Uncut and censoring Vampire Bund. End quote. While many were encouraged by Funimation's latest statement, there still wasn't a guarantee that the series would be released completely uncut. Those who were still on the fence would have to wait a year. Then, on March 17, 2011, Funimation confirmed to Anime News Network that their Blu-ray and DVD releases of the series wouldn't be edited, and those who were interested could find them on store shelves on June 14th. Funimation's confirmation that the series wouldn't be edited didn't make nearly as many waves as their initial statement. Some people had only heard the uproar and still thought that the home video releases were going to be edited. But once people got to watch it for themselves, they were able to confirm once and for all that it was completely uncut, and bring this controversial episode to a close.